Hello everybody and welcome back to Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson, and today I have another one of those Raid in the Rack videos, and this is going to be a Raid in the Rack video and a repotting video at the same time because I have one amazing plant to show you today, and it is this plant here. Now, this is the beautiful plant that I want to show you today. When I was out, I saw this beautiful Cereus Forbesii Spiralis and I just wanted one of these. I've seen them online and they are becoming all the craze at the moment with people around and about that like succulent plants. This cactus grows in the normal way as all other cacti do when they're young, by growing up straight, and then after a certain amount of maturity, it starts twisting. And hence its name Spiralis. So this is quite a mature specimen. I mean, look how long it is. I mean, look compared to my arm, if that's my elbow, it's halfway up my hand as well. So it's the whole bottom half of my arm and my hand. I mean, it's got to be a good 40 centimeters long or something like that. Beautiful specimen. I mean, look at the way that is spiraling around. And at the top, that is a perfect example of a Cereus Forbesii Spiralis. It is big, it is thick, it is spiraling perfectly, it is in great condition. And you know what? I only paid 149 Swedish kronor for this beauty, and I think that was fantastic in this size. Now let's do the head test. Look at me compared to the plant without me getting any of those spikes in my head. You can see it's very long and very mature and it's spiraling just so wonderfully and the colour is just beautiful. So this is what I found when I was driving out in the countryside, and this place had maybe just a couple of other types of cactuses. It wasn't a place that had a selection of different types of cactuses. But there were a couple of these, and I was like, what? How were they all the way out here in the countryside where you've got hardly anything else, and then you've got these? This is just a wonderful plant. So I'm going to repot this now, but I'm not going to be taking it out of its nursery pot because it's very happy in this pot, and cacti do not need big pots with their tiny little root balls. They don't have many roots. They can grow out roots, but you can chop them off and the plant will still be okay. So I want to keep it in this pot because it's very happy with this, but I want to put it into another pot to make it stable because this is not stable at all in that little pot, and that height and that weight, it just topples over so easily. So it needs to be in a much more stable pot. So that's what I'm going to do now. So the pot that I want to put this in is my beautiful turquoise pot I have here. Absolutely beautiful. Just need to decide which way around I want to be the front and which the back. Well, it doesn't really matter because all sides of the cactus are wonderful and all sides of this pot are wonderful. So what I've decided to do is fill the pot with soil and everything, just as if I was going to plant this plant directly into the soil, and then just put this plant in the middle. And at some point in the future, I might be able to just lift it up out of the nursery pot, put it back in that hole, and then it can just carry on growing. So I've already got the pot ready for the future when this gets a little bit bigger and maybe needs a little bit more space. But for now, it really doesn't need it. And I don't want this plant growing too quickly, because if it starts growing too quickly, it's going to start getting leggy and it will start losing its form and it will start not looking nice. So the soil that I'm using for this, this has to rest against the pot because it can't stand up. It's a really bad quality potting mix that I got from a local supermarket. It's very dusty and it gets very dry. I've mixed that with a lot of fine sand that I had left over from my aquarium from way back, but I still have the sand and I haven't known what I want to do with it. But when I get cactuses, I know that I'll be able to use that sand. So now I've been able to mix some of that fine sand into this mix, as well as a lot of perlite. So this soil is very, very aerated and will stay very, very dry. Even though my plant is not going to be in this soil just yet, I want everything to be ready, as I said, so that I can just pop this plant up in the future and put it back down in the pot and it's good to go. So let's get this soil into this pot, and for this job, we're working with a cactus with a lot of needles on it. So I need to have gloves on to protect myself, and I have some newspaper for when I just try to put it in place. So, to start with, I need to move my cactus down. No, I don't. I just need to move my cactus over to this side. Got my gloves on so I can work with this soil. This soil, as I said, is extremely dusty now. Extremely dusty. So, in with that. As much as I can. To the height I think I need. Very, very difficult. Ah! No! See what I mean? Ah! He fell over nearly. But I saved him. Woo! Oh! Now, you're gonna be fine. Is that high enough? I also want to cover the pot so I can't see it. So, I think that is perfect. So now, yep. That's perfect. It's in the middle. Now I'm just going to keep trying to put soil around. This is a messy job. I've only got a tray underneath this, and I haven't taken up my mat off the floor, and I don't want to get soil all over the place, but I'm going to anyway because I can't help it. That's one side. Turn it around and get the other side done. Oof, so dusty, sandy. So for now, that's enough soil. And there we have it. Already, it looks absolutely beautiful in its new pot here. It's elevated, it's standing as a one-off statement piece on its own. And this plant is quite interesting to me and quite nice because in Malmö, we have the famous building called the Turning Torso. It is the only high building, it's the only skyscraper in Malmö. The only one. It's called Turning Torso and it twists around like this. It's a white building. We used to live right next door to it. All the tourists come to see it. And now I have a piece that just reminds me of Malmö where I live because it just looks like the Turning Torso. So that's really nice as well. Yeah, I'm really pleased with this. Now, I don't have any small crystals at the moment to hand, but I am going to cover the whole top of the soil of this plant with crystals. Milky quartz crystals, because I think that's going to look wonderful. And in fact, I'm just going to go and get some now and do that, and then I'll be ready to take you in for a closer look. So I decided to go ahead and give my beautiful Cereus Forbesii Spiralis a quick spray off to get rid of the dust and dirt that was on it, and now it's shimmering with some lovely droplets of water. It also had some cobwebs on the top before, so now that's cleared that off a little bit. And now I'm ready to cover the top with some beautiful quartz crystals that I have found when I've been out and about walking in nature and found these pieces of quartz crystal. Look at those crystals, aren't they beautiful? Milky quartz crystal. If you're anywhere where there's granite rocks and they've been broken or smashed, sometimes you can find quartz crystal veins and you will get beautiful energy-filled pieces of quartz. And I use these around my plants because they're just wonderful. They give the plants wonderful energy. They give me wonderful energy when I look at them, when I see them, when they're reflecting the light. I feel like they're reflecting the sun's energy and their own energy out. And this is just going to look beautiful around this cactus with the beautiful color of that cactus itself. So let's get putting these beautiful crystals all the way around this beautiful Cereus Forbesii Spiralis. Beautiful, beautiful cactus that I was lucky enough to find in a garden centre, a small garden centre out in the countryside. Sitting there in a place where they don't have hardly any cactuses and just waiting for me to come and pick it up, basically. and give it a beautiful new home here in all the gardens and crystals. Life. Beautiful crystals all the way around that will enhance and brighten up the beautiful colour of the cactus and, wow, it's gorgeous. And the pot below will also be brightened up with that beautiful turquoise colour. Oh, so wonderful to think you can go out in nature and find things like this. You need to keep your eyes peeled when you're out there. And you'll also be able to find yourself some quartz crystals. Oh, this is just such a joy. My energy is up. Oh, I just feel wonderful. I love it when I can combine gardens and crystals together like this to create something magnificent and beautiful and just absolutely fantastic to look at all the time from now on. I have a couple of cacti at Crystal Cottage that I have had for eight going on 9 years now. They've been repotted and they've been dropped and they've been in sun that's kind of burnt them a little bit and all sorts, but they're looking wonderful still, and they're still with me and they're still happy living with me. So I know that this beautiful Cereus Forbesii Spiralis will also do beautifully well in this pot, as long as it's not overwatered, which it won't be. It'll be watered every now and then it will just be beautiful and happy. So, now that I've done all that, look at that beautifulness all together. This is going to be in the middle of our window in our kitchen, where we have an east-facing window, so it'll get direct morning sun. But because we have buildings on the other side, the sun doesn't last for hours and hours, so it won't have a chance of getting burnt. It will just get a nice couple of hours of eastern morning sun. And later during the afternoon, actually, there will be some sun, direct sun coming through as well, and then it'll fade off early in the afternoon. And that will be perfect to keep this plant happy. But at the same time, as I said, I've given it soil that is bad quality. And when I say bad quality, I just mean soil that hasn't got any added fertilizer, it hasn't got any manure, it hasn't got any of this kind of stuff in it to encourage this plant or stress this plant into growing when it hasn't got probably enough light to sustain the growth, and then it will just get thin and it will just look really bad quite quickly. I want it to stay like this. I actually don't want it to grow. And if it grows, I just want it to grow a little bit at a time so that it keeps the same width and structure. And then it's perfect. So now I'm ready to take you in for a much closer look. So I really hope you enjoyed seeing this Cereus Forbesii Spiralis closer up, so you get to see all the details of this beautiful plant, as well as the quartz crystals around the bottom and this beautiful pot that it's in. That was it for this Raiding the Rack and repotting video. Thank you very much once again for watching Gardens and Crystals with me, Wesley Peterson. Please remember to like, subscribe and hit the bell so you know when my next video will be uploaded. And I will see you with another wonderful plant or plants again very soon. Goodbye.